Well, hello there. Welcome to this edition of Thought for the Week. We're beginning to look at a passage in the book of Acts which shows us how early Christians behaved and believed, how they lived their lives in an alien culture. And our culture is becoming increasingly alien, isn't it? Scarcely a day goes by without something happening which makes us think, I don't believe this is the Britain that I was brought up in. Well, things are changing, and not changing for the better in most cases. But that's to be expected because Jesus warned us of these days. If you read in Matthew chapter 24, you'll see that he speaks about the end times very clearly. I invite you to look at that chapter to see for yourself. But now I want us to turn our eyes to Acts chapter 2. And this is how the early Christians behaved. This is chapter 2 and verse 42. They, that is, those first converts, they devoted themselves to the apostles' doctrine and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to the prayers. Everyone was filled with awe. Many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had shared everything. And bear in mind, this was all within the context of a society that you would describe as an alien society. The Romans were opposed to the Christians. The Jewish leaders, the religious leaders, they were opposed to the Christians. And so it was a tough time to be a disciple of Jesus. But the great thing is, those early Christians did not trim their sail to meet the current situation and to identify themselves with Roman culture. No, no. They were consistent in their stand for Jesus. They were determined to be his disciples and consistently his disciples. Were they always successful? No, unfortunately not. But even that's encouraging, isn't it? Because in all their failures, and there were a number, we see the consistency of God's love for them, his care of them, his leading them every step. So we can relate to it absolutely. This is not an alien world to us that we read about in Acts. It's one that we recognize and seek to identify with. They devoted themselves to the apostles' doctrine. That word devoted is a very strong word. It certainly is in English, isn't it? When we talk about being devoted to our wife or our husband, it means we're totally committed. Nothing will divert us. But it's also true in other ways as well, including our commitment to Jesus. And the word in Greek is proskarterio. It means to continue steadfastly, to hold fast to something, never to let it go, to adhere to it, to be busily engaged in it, to be determined and to be devoted to it. That's what it means. In a word, it's discipleship. Christianity is one thing, discipleship is another. I've met lots of people who call themselves Christians, but they're not disciples of Jesus. There's no absolute commitment to him. That's something to think about, isn't it? Which category would you place yourself in? A Christian or a disciple, which goes beyond the description of Christianity? Something to think about and maybe something to pray about. Anyway, the Lord bless you. See you next time.